Welcome back to OpenLine. We're talking about challenges confronting young people today, especially men and boys. We have with us Bishop Kenneth Dupree with Victory Church, also Deacon Artie London with Victory Church. They're going to be having a father-son breakfast at the Victory Empowerment Center this Saturday. And we'll put up all the information for that. But that breakfast gives us the chance to talk about these bigger issues. Correct. The zip code, the North Nashville zip code, highest incarceration rate in the entire country. And a fascinating discussion before we went to break. But there might be people out there who say there are more opportunities than ever now. And if people just work hard, they can access those opportunities, and there are opportunities out there like there have never been. You know, what do people need to know if they're out there saying that?
Perhaps there are more opportunities. Perhaps there are more opportunities, but I think there are additionally more challenges that have to be overcome. I'm very familiar with the pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But what do you do if your boots don't have laces? You know, then what do you do if you don't have boots? It's challenging. It's a multifaceted situation, and I don't think that there's one single answer. But I think that if each of us becomes caring and loving people that stand up for what is right and stand up for those who cannot stand for themselves, to assist them, to help them, to encourage them. Again, as has been stated by some far wiser men than me, if we can teach them how to fish as opposed to simply giving them fish, that can change a generation. And I think that that's something that I try to do and that we try to do, to teach people how to fish so that they can feed themselves and they can be self-sufficient and they can enjoy the pride of ownership and the pride of success and accomplishment. To try to, this past Sunday, we congratulated graduates. So you had young kids all the way up to doctors who had graduated. But many of those young people we watched through the years grow up. And so to be there to congratulate and to applaud and to even buy shoes and get haircuts, and some of those kids, I bought refrigerators for them as they're going to college, and clothes for them so that as they started they didn't feel uncomfortable. Very small things. Didn't talk about them, didn't tell anybody about them, but just trying to be there to support them and to be a part of a community of people that is equipping them to succeed. It's hard to be something that you've never been.
That's true.
It's hard to be something that you've never seen in your home. And so what we try to do, you've got people like Artie. This is a successful gentleman, worked for the IRS for a number of years, and is accomplished. He's an accomplished, successful African-American gentleman. He's got the house, he's got the car, he's got the lifestyle, and he did it honestly. And so to have an opportunity for him to share with young people and talk to them and share his life and his love with them, it makes a difference. To some it may seem like a small thing, but it's a major thing when you're touching lives of kids and people who perhaps don't have enough people touching them.
Exactly.
I bet. And you were saying you remember a program that you used to see that may not be there. But what's the program you were talking about?
The acronym is JTPA, Job Training Partnership Act.
And what's your memory of that?
Well, when I worked, as Bishop said, in the federal building for the IRS, when school was out, when Hume Fall school was out and other schools, it's just like it was a lot of kids that got off the bus and went up the steps. It was inside Hume Falls, and they were going up steps and they were getting their assignments. It was various businesses that were part of that partnership that said, you know, I'll hire him, I'll hire her, and we're going to pay them, give them a check. So the kids, payday came, they was excited about getting that check. And they went to the mall and they were buying things for next school semester. And that was exciting. That goes back, that was then. But now, as far as I know, that partnership doesn't exist. And it may still exist, but I don't know anything about it being currently out there. And so what you have, you don't see the kids going up that step to get that job. They go other places. They go elsewhere.
Those programs may not be there.
Well, that's true. And so what do? You don't have the opportunity to be employed, and you find other things to do. Thus, the incarceration rate goes up. Crime goes up. If we had something like that in place, I truly feel that we wouldn't be, 37208 would not be the highest zip code in the country.
And I'm reading, there are all kinds of stats I have here. One is research on the effects of religion on youth behavior generally indicates the greater an individual's religious involvement, the less likely that individual will be to participate in crime, and the greater chance of success. You're a church. Yeah, what do you think of that? I guess you would agree. But are we seeing fewer young people participate in religious activities?
I could say that we are seeing young people participate in church, and I can see we could think about what comes to mind is Dante.
Dante,
yes. A young man in our church.
Yes, Belmont.
Prior to him coming to our church, his mother brought him to church because he was failing in school. He comes to church, he gets around a community of people who care, helping him in homework and just being a part of his life. Young man's grades turned completely around.
Yeah.
He is now a student at Belmont University.
Wow,
story
that's
short.
great. That's great.
And so there are a number of success stories like that because the faith community provides a network, a support system, encouragers, positive role models that you can see and touch.
Right.
I mean, it's I mean, something so small as I've taken kids, for example, to let's say J. Alexander's. That was like a big deal. They had never been to a place like that before. Now, I could not imagine, I just couldn't. I didn't think anything about it taking them there.
Right.
But to them, it was major.
That's great.
I mean, like, they had been to McDonald's, and that was about it.
And you don't, yeah, you're right. There are a lot of things we don't think about.
Exactly. The small things, just that caring and sharing. And so to come and then say, order what you want? Oh, no, wait. Hold it. Because, if they did go, then there may be some restriction on what they could order, or you can't get this, or someone else will order for you. But to come and get carte blanche, order what you want, and then see the little smile on their face. And then you leave there, and of course you have to have dessert. You can't. Come on, let's go out and have dessert. So I mean, that kind of sharing and impact that the faith community will offer to kids and families, I think, is life-changing.
Let's take a couple calls. Let's go to Lafayette. Hello, Lafayette.
Yes.
Go right ahead. What's on your mind? Hello. Go right ahead.
Just say hello.
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 What's your question?
My question is, the gentleman that's there on your panel, I need to know his name, whoever's in charge of whatever they're having Saturday. That's why I called.
Artie London is in charge. His name is Artie London. Artie London, he's in charge.
And we'll talk more. We're going to put up all the details for what's happening Saturday, but it's a breakfast, father-son breakfast, and we'll continue to talk about it. But there's
we'll even give you his phone number later, and you can call and get more information. We'd love for you to come and be a part of it. Are you interested in attending?
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
About Saturday.
Yes, sir. Artie, what's your number?
My number is 615.
Call 615.
364.
364.
I can't hear because somebody's talking.
I think you have your TV up. So we'll put out, you don't need to give out your number right now.
All right.
Turn down your TV if you want to talk more, and then you can hear better. And let's go to Reverend Fuzz. You've done this before, Reverend Fuzz. What's on your mind?
Hey, Ben, I've done this a lot of times. Hi, Kenneth Dupree.
Hello, Pastor Fuzz. How are you?
Wait, Ben, Kenneth and I were in school at seminary together.
Absolutely.
And I got a couple of questions. We're hearing this stuff about the youth in our city.
Mm-hmm.
This will be kind of bold, Ben. I can't think, maybe 20 juveniles were homicide victims last year. Now, we're looking at 20 juveniles out of around 150,000. We're talking about the violence and what's with youth in our community, and I'm afraid that we're taking away from spotlighting the many, many positive kids who are doing great things. I do see the kids who are poor and having problems. I put them out of church, and I'm going to make a donation for your event on this coming Saturday. I know Wonderful. I can't come, but I'll make sure we give a donation.
Thank you.
Yeah, but what I want to point to is how does this compare? Like our schools, we've got 80,000 kids in our schools. We are doing a 70%, 75% graduation on time rate. That seems pretty good, but then in Memphis, what they're doing is that all the kids in public school get to go to summer camp for free at the public schools.
Wow.
It costs $40 million, but all the kids get to go for 6 or 7 weeks to one of the public schools for a camp for free. That seemed like something awesome to me. And then another thing that DHS is doing, they have a program called Wraparound, and we don't have social workers anymore. This wraparound thing, a case manager will have 10 families, and their responsibility is to make them accountable, to mentor them. A family don't go to the hospital 10 times, maybe they go 2 times because they got this wraparound mentor.
Wow.
But I just wanted to congratulate you and throw out there 37208. The crime is down over there. That's a point that we got to make. And
Good.
The district attorney, when people are arrested, they go to the DA who prosecutes them. He can make the deal of what happens to that kid instead of putting him in jail. Send him to Pastor Dupree. That's my thought.
Pastor Fuzz, what do you think we can do as a community to just have greater impact on for our young people? You mentioned those 2 programs.
I think that we're doing a lot already.
Such as?
There are lots of churches that I know who are holding summer camps.
Great.
And they're doing them for free. I know one church got 200 kids. He's not charging those kids. We're helping him to raise money.
Wow.
Camp at TSU, there's the Barefoot Republicans, what do you call it, Opportunity Now, where the jobs are available. The Metro Parks have jobs.
Yes.
Kenneth, what I realize is that everybody will not go to heaven.
Right.
I don't like that, but some kids, we're not going to be able to, they're going to go to jail.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that we got to interface with them in jail, but even then they don't turn around.
Yes. I just
pick up your show, Ben, but
no.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think, and also what he's saying is, yeah, we need. There's some problems. We need to highlight some of the good things.
Yes.
Right. And in a sense, that's what this breakfast is going to do.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be putting up role models.
Absolutely.
Right.
And too often there aren't enough role models, and too often we do talk only about the negative.
Yes.
Right.
And there are good stories.
Oh, yes.
And that's what you want to inspire people with these good stories.
Yes. I'm one of those good stories.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah.
You both are.
I started in projects.
Yeah.
But move beyond that.
And so, yes, there is hope.
Yes.
And there are good stories.
Yes.
And that's what you'll be talking about at this breakfast.
Yes, for sure.
All right, we're going to take a break. Hold on the line. We have several calls. If you're on there, Jeff, Lucy.
Hang in there. Don't leave. Stay with us.
We'll come back if you turn down your TV if you want to comment some more. We'll take a break. Be back right after this.